the Washington Wizards just fired Scott Brooks, and this is something that a lot of Wizards fans have been waiting for a very long time, because I think since OKC, Scott Brooks has proven to be a coach who, with a lot of talent, can succeed, but obviously his offense is very stagnant. It's very predictable. There isn't much to it, which is why Kevin Durant wanted to leave. And I think, right now, Scott Brooks, he did get fired, and what's the next step for the Wizards? You got Bradley Beal.
You got to stop saying that. They parted ways.
They parted ways?
Yeah, because they couldn't come to an agreement. They parted ways.
Okay, they parted ways. Same thing. Westbrook.
Okay, sorry.
Westbrook is 32. Beal is 27. They got young guys in Hachimura, Gafford, Advia, Thomas Bryant, who's going to come back from that ACL injury, and Berton. So they have some talent on this team. So what do you think is the next step for the Wizards? Are you going first, Riff?
Yeah. Sorry, I just had to open this up.
It's usually how it goes.
Yeah. I really don't know. They're in cap hell. Thomas Bryant is a good player. He is coming back from an ACL injury. You got Davis Bertans. He's getting paid $16 million. I'm pretty sure Westbrook gets paid about $40 million. And then Beal gets paid about $35, if I'm not mistaken. Somewhere in the 30s range.
They are both on maxes.
Yeah, so it's going to be tough because you're kind of locked in with these three guys, You got a few young talents. You're not going to have a high draft pick this year because you made the playoffs. So you got to have to sit here and ride with this team. Westbrook is getting older. His game is kind of treading in the wrong direction in terms of declining. Bradley Beal, I feel like he's going to want out eventually. So you got to figure out, do you blow it up now or try to make another playoff run? I don't see why you shouldn't blow it up right now. Bradley Beal is of high market right now. There's a lot of teams that want him. Davis Bertans is a 3-point sniper. You can get something for him, and then you just roll with the Rui Hachimura. Thomas Bryant is still young. I think he's like 24 years old.
He's young.
Danny Advia, he's a good player. He's also a really young European player. Westbrook, you can probably just wait out his contract, maybe, or trade him. I don't see a market where you want Westbrook.
I do want him.
Oh yeah, you're an
idiot.
He
can actually come to the squad and win a championship, and everyone shut up.
You won't win with Westbrook, LeBron, and AD.
I mean, as long as I have LeBron, I'm cool.
Well, you had LeBron against. Never mind. Yeah, I don't see where. I think you should just wait out Westbrook.
They're smart to stop.
You should just wait out Westbrook's contract, but definitely, I don't see the direction because they put themselves in a tight position, and I don't see a coach who wants that to go there and have that type of mess and dysfunction. This team it made the playoffs, granted, but with the way the cap is and the way that their players are, they're just not in a good position to they're kind of stuck in stagnant mode right now, and they have to figure it out. And it starts with the head coach.
In my opinion, I agree with Riv almost exactly everything he said. Literally everything. I think that personally, I feel like Beal, this is the highest that his value is going to be. That. What happened?
I would not blow this team up. I feel like they can't afford to.
All right, go ahead. Since I have the same opinion as Riv, I'd like to hear yours.
The reason they can't afford to is because nobody will trade for Russell Westbrook in his contract. They're going to have to wait it out. And you got to win. If you have Westbrook and you have Beal, you got to win.
You don't, though.
Not necessarily.
You could tank.
This team has talent, and they're going to have a top 18 pick. I'm guessing it's going to be from the 16 to 13 range in the draft. You can get a pretty good player with that pick. They have young talent. Like I mentioned, Hachimura has been getting better every year. Beal is only 27. He's just entering his prime. Bertans is really good as a three-point shooter and sniper. Advia, disappointing rookie season, but he has potential. And Daniel Gafford, who really jumped onto the scene. This team has talent. And I think if there was a coach not named Scott Brooks, if there was a coach last year coaching this team not named Scott Brooks, they'd be better. They went on an insane win streak to close out the season because all year long last year they were hampered by COVID, by injuries, and now a fresh start with a fresh coach who knows what he's doing. I think the Wizards can be a 6-4 seed, and then you'll see where it goes from there. But they have a ton of options because you could trade Beal maybe for another great player or a bunch of draft picks, a treasure chest of draft picks. Maybe trade Bertans or Advia, see what you get for that. Or Bryant. You never know. And, I'll just throw this out there. What if they get Kristaps Porzingis and you have a big three of Beal, Westbrook, and KP? I don't think that's too bad. I think that could be okay in the East if KP does return back to form and can stay healthy, which is a huge question mark. But I don't think it's time to blow it up because, especially with how the NBA is now, you're really not guaranteed one of those top picks if you do indeed tank.
I just feel like defensively they don't have enough, and the fact that Beal is definitely the superstar on the squad, and he is arguably their worst defender on the team. I just feel like as of right now, that this roster was an 8th seed. It's not really like they had too many injuries happen to them. Bertans missed a few in the beginning of the season, but I don't think that he's too much of an impact player to really think that he would move them up to like a 5 or a 4 seed, in my opinion, at least. I just feel like right now, if you were to trade Beal right now, you could get. If I look at the Paul George trade with the Clippers and OKC, and I see what the Clippers gave to OKC, I'm looking at Bradley Beal, and I'm thinking they could get almost exactly the same, if not more, because of how young Bradley Beal is. Yeah. And I just feel like with Russ, the way that people have this image of Russ that he can't win, he doesn't have the type of play style that's best suited to win a championship. If the Wizards really think that, move on from him. See if you can get a single first-round pick for him. It seems as if every time he's traded, a first-round pick is being moved. And I can understand where the Wizards would be coming from if they did that, especially with the fact that I just don't see them being better than the Celtics long-term, Nets long-term, Hawks long-term, Miami long-term. The East is trending toward a really strong conference that we haven't seen in a little while, in a long while, truthfully. And I just feel like right now with the price tag on Beal's name right now, you could get so much that could change your culture in the future. And you look at OKC, that was their game plan. And people talk about OKC's moves recently, like they've been doing God's work. They've done move after move that people just love, and I'm one of those guys. I love the direction that they're headed towards, and I feel like the Wizards should take a similar approach.
I'm looking at their contracts right now, right? Okay, so this upcoming season is going to be 2021, 2022. Westbrook and Beal both have player options that I'm probably 100% confident they're going to accept. You know,
or decline.
You think Westbrook would decline $47 million?
I was going to say, yeah, Westbrook's not declining. Beal might.
Yeah, Beal might.
Yeah, and then you got
get that money on the open market.
Yeah, then you got Bertans on a 5-year deal with $16 million each year, and then Bryant. This is his last year, so you're gonna have to pay him. So I just think, a team who, like you said, teams are trending. I'm not saying Charlotte's better than them, but that's a young team that's gonna be trending. You got Atlanta who's getting better. Philly's still gonna be around with Embiid. You got the Nets. You got Boston, who's still a really talented team. There's a lot of teams that are trending in that right direction. Indiana, we don't know what they can be. They're still a good team. They were dealing with injuries last year. I just think this team is going to be stuck in a kind of like a 8th, 7th seed team maybe, or a play-in team. And I just think right now you got to capitalize on Bradley Beal's trade value, because what if you wait another year and he gets hurt? Then what? His trade value stocks. He drops. Davis Bertans, the same thing. He's a shooter. He's 28 years old. I think you got to capitalize right now on the guys you have right now, because although you got young talent, I think this team, even if you get a Porzingis, a big three is going to be good, but is it really enough to compete in the East? Like, be a competitive team in the East? I don't think so. I don't think, based on what we've seen from Porzingis, you have to get the right coach. And like I said, that's the first thing, getting the right coach. So this team is in trouble for the next couple of years.
The thing about me is that I'm up for any challenge that's available to me. And on 2K, I built a championship.
I'm seeing him. On
2K, I built a championship roster with this Wizards team by trading for KP and building a big three of Beal, Westbrook, and KP.
Were you playing on rookie?
No, I was playing on Hall of Fame, mister. I was playing on Hall of Fame. So I'm saying, I guess I'm just up for the challenge. NBA teams. And this guy is crazy. NBA teams, they can hire me as a GM, and I will bring you a championship in no less than 5 years. I proved it.
You're just different
in the game. Yes,
you're just entertained.
I'm hearing them out.
So I'm just saying, I would accept the challenge, but I do understand what you're saying. You got to capitalize on Beal's trade value. Next year, he's going to be a free agent. And he's probably going to leave because nobody wants to be in Washington.
So I just have a question. You're saying you wouldn't blow it up, but you want to trade Beal.
If I can't get KP, I would. But I would try and trade for KP because he's disgruntled. Mm-hmm. And I'd see where I could go with that big three.
A championship.
Looking at the money, yes. they might have to give up Bertans and Bryant. Looking at because
no. Yeah, it would be Bertans, a combination of Bertans Bryant or Bryant Advia or Bertans Advia.
If Bryant didn't tear his
that's what I would
ACL, his stock would definitely be a whole lot higher for obvious reasons. Because in the bubble, Thomas Bryant showed a lot of potential.
He was good.
Yeah,
Early
he
in the
definitely
season, he did
was.
too. Yeah, he's good. He's good.
He just can't play defense, but he's good outside of
It's
that.
funny because in Indiana, he was known as a defender.
What are you talking about?
Thomas Bryant.
Thomas Bryant was not in Indiana.
I thought he was I thought he was.
I'm talking about his college, bro.
Ah.
Jesus. Talking about college,
Nah,
bro.
you're real for knowing that.
He really was known as a defender.
Yeah, like a rim protector, all that. Like, he was a really good
Oh, when
defender.
you're a big dude in
Well,
college,
is
yeah,
easier
exactly,
competition.
correct.
College is way easier competition.
Yeah, that's what's funny. Like, he came to the league and it's like kind of like fell off.
You guys remember this player named Andrew Nicholson?
Yeah,
He was a player that
6'9", dark skin.
he was a player that got drafted the year Dwight Howard left Orlando, and he was marketed to be like the next Dwight.
6'9".
I remember when that draft happened
Uh-huh.
at a St. Bonaventure.
What number you go?
19.
Okay.
Yeah, 19.
So they expected someone who went 19th overall to be the number 1 draft pick.
yeah, to
Yeah,
be
that's
good.
crazy.
But he actually like fizzled out. He didn't even play past 4 years in the league.
Really?
Yeah,
Hate to
sucks.
see it.
Yeah, hopefully he has a good career somewhere else overseas
Mhm.
or something like that. But now we're finally getting to the topic.
Thomas Bryant played with Yogi Ferrell.
That's good.
Yeah, they beat Kentucky. that year.
Yogi Ferrell was good in college.
really good.
He was
They
good.
played with Troy Williams. I know you know him from Houston.
Yeah,
That guy too. He's
he
on
would have
that
dropped
team.
40 on you.
He's 6'8", bro.